Hey guys, Mike with Voodoo Vintage here. Just wanted to follow up to my other videos. Want to give thanks to a lot of the new subscribers that are on my channel. I also want to thank Yankee Picker for mentioning me on his Picker News Network. Also want to thank StorageTreasures.com. Got an interesting thing there that came through, and it was pretty much, you know, apply for this new position, this new, you know, apply call. So I did that, and I'll upload my video of that pretty soon. But just wanted to give you some follow-up to some of the things I got, some recent picks. I got about thrifting, and I've just been nailing it lately, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But here's a 49ers Reebok. Nice jacket here. Here's a Chicago Blackhawks crew neck. This one's from #89. Pretty slick. Now, these are all items you guys can go out there and pick, I'm telling you. And I make good money at this. Here's a Blackhawks Logo 7. You know, I should do a tutorial of all the labels and everything so you guys can understand what to actually look for. But a lot of these shirts are pretty much self-explanatory. They have dates on them, and you can tell by the age. This one's a fun one here. If anybody remembers the Kids in the Hall, you know, this is a concert shirt. This is slick. Here, Ralph Lauren for me sells, you know, at that estate sale where I picked up all those hats. I went back the next day and got a bunch of, went in the closet in this house and walk in the closet and look in there, and it's all brand new Ralph Lauren, vintage, 80s, 90s, dress shirts. So I grabbed them all, and you know, they basically wanted 50 cents a shirt, so I just picked every one of them up. Found some ties, all Ralph Lauren, you know, black label, blue label ties. I did pretty well, and I'll show you guys what I sold those for, and you know how I made money doing that way. But you know, here's a Ralph Lauren 90s blue jean shirt, button down. Probably get 30-40 bucks out of this. Here's a nice Dallas Cowboys Taz. This is from '96 by CSA. Here's a '80s Nike rayon. You know, these rayon shirts, they sell. So if you find them, grab them. Here's one. This is a great story about this one. I'm standing there at the thrift store, and I look over, and this guy picks up the shirt. And out of the corner of my eye, I glance over there because I like to see what other people are picking next to me. And you know, he grabs his shirt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's got this great shirt. I hope he doesn't, you know, put in his cart. And he sits there and he walks around, and I'm following him at this point because, you know, I'm stalking him. I want the shirt. So he goes and he's looking at the coats, and he puts the shirt down by the coats. I grab it. Guess what it was? '87 Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah, pretty wild. Got it, $2. You know, gotta look. There's the date. There's a lot of reproductions of this shirt. You know, any of these shirts from 2000, I mean, they're junk. You know, you can still sell them. I sell them for 15 bucks. But this shirt here, this is a great find. Here, this is a classic Lacoste, you know, jogging shirt from jogging like jacket from the 70s. This thing's slick. Crocodile. I actually might keep that one. Here's a '91 Dennis Rodman Bulls shirt. Tag says $3. I got it. It was half off, so about $1.50. And here's a this one is a Swingster. I've been finding a ton of these lately. Old Blackhawks, Bulls. Look at this in the back. That's slick. Not like the starter. You don't get the big bucks like you do with the starter coats, but this is a Swingster. It's a $30-40 bill. So yeah, lately I've been doing really well, guys. You know, start looking out there, and at these thrift stores, you're gonna find more people in garage sales dumping some of this stuff. Here's some hats I picked up. Dolphins Apex snapback. Clean. Here's a slick one. Operation Desert Storm. Olds '87 looking good. Mesh trucker hat. Here's one. This actually came out of that estate sale. So I've got a ton of these hats sitting around still. I've sold quite a few and made good money at it, but you know, I'm still going through these hats, and you know, when I get some spare time and clean them up. This hat was trash. This polo hat, this Ralph Lauren hat, from the '90s, but I cleaned it pretty well. It's sellable. Here's another one I just restored. It's a Bulls hat. This one's Sports Specialties. Pretty clean. This thing was devastated, just filthy, and I cleaned that one out. What else we got here? Here's Chicago Bulls. This one's a logo 7. This one's nice. Here's brand new. Here's a starter. 1995 Orlando Magic champions. That's slick. And I got a news story here that I'm going to see if it pans out, but I went to this flea market on Sunday, and I walked into the flea market. I'm looking around. I'm at this one booth, and this lady had a lot of nice stuff, and I tried to make offers on it, but her pricing was like 40% higher than like what I get the stuff retail on eBay. But I'm walking in the corner there, and there's this bin of just hats, and I walk over there, and the other fellow's like, "Oh, you like hats?" I said, "Yo, I love hats," and I grabbed like 4 hats out of there, and we're talking, and he lives in the same town I live in, and next thing you know, he's like, "I got 5,000 hats." I said, "Oh wow!" I said, "How much do you want for them?" "Oh, I'll bring them next weekend," and basically give me a quarter piece for them or whatever, buy the bunch. And I said, "Yeah, bring them." So we'll see what we get out of that deal. But here's a cool National 1045 trucker hat. Here's rid of the bash there. Here's a National 1990 high cap snapback. And I'm going to show you 3 here I got that. This is from that flea market. I'm cleaning these up here. Here's a back-to-back Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys logo 7. This is how I like to dry my hats. I just let them sit on here and off they go. Here's a Blackhawks hat. I don't know if I could sell this. It's got some dings and stuff on it, but it's pretty nice. It's got, who's this made by? NHL, the Twill. Yeah, it's filthy. I don't know. Maybe a diehard fan would buy it for maybe 15 bucks. But I love these hats. I haven't seen these in a while. These old painter caps. Minnesota Twins. Pretty slick. So, yeah, at the end of this video, what I'm going to do is just do a recap of all of the hats I showed you earlier. I'll show you how I took some pictures of them, how I took the pictures of them, and what I sold them for. So, stay tuned.